I'm Loss, and I want to talk to you about Megaton Rainfall. Megaton Rainfall is a video game coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR. And I can't put into words how excited I am to say that it actually is coming out, as for quite some time it seemed that it wouldn't be released at all, with the developer seemingly having gone into hiding for many months. Until this awesome trailer dropped in August, announcing that the game is coming out very soon, on September 26, 2017. So what is Megaton Rainfall exactly? From a first-person view, we play a superhero who is kind of like Superman, though he looks like Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen. Aliens are attacking our planet, and it is up to this hero to fend them off. The superhero is invincible, but the cities have health bars, and their destruction means mission failed. It's already pretty exciting to say we have some kind of Superman simulator here, with influences from Independence Day, War of the Worlds and whatnot. But the coolest thing about this game is its open world. Some people may remember a virtual reality game called Eagle Flight, in which you could fly around the skies, catacombs and streets of Paris. How does that compare to Megaton Rainfall? We can fly across the entire planet Earth, which is procedurally generated, with about 50,000 cities and all the famous landmarks present. We can even go to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. And how high can we fly? There doesn't really seem to be a limit. We can fly out of the atmosphere to the moon, Mars, the sun, and beyond. I mean, how awesome is that? In recent interviews, the developer was a bit more vague, how much further than our solar system you can go, but in early footage from 2015, we saw what his website still states is possible. You can reach Mach 10 and leave the Milky Way in less than 1 minute. Like I said, it's an old statement on his website, and it might be outdated, but one can dream, right? All I can say is there has not been a good Superman game yet. There was the terrible Superman 64, and a, as far as I know, forgettable Superman Returns game on last gen. He made some appearances in other games like Injustice and the LEGO games, but those aren't full-on Superman games. Which Megaton Rainfall isn't either, since you don't play Superman, but it damn well gets closest to what a Man of Steel game should be. Since I mentioned stuff we can't be sure of yet, here's some stuff that we do know for sure. The hero can't walk. He just levitates above the ground as stated by the Twitter account of Megaton Rainfall. Destruction is not just going to be caused by the aliens, but also by us, since the yet unnamed hero, when he shoots like his beams out of his hands, he can accidentally destroy entire buildings. And he may even have to destroy some buildings, since a recent GIF shows that some alien spaceships can pose as buildings. PlayStation Move is not going to be supported when the game launches. But according to an interview with Real Virtual, a Spanish YouTube channel at Gamescom recently, it's very likely going to be patched in later on. In the same interview, it was said that the story is going to be told through a being which is voice acted and it creates 3D letters that float in the air while also talking to you, telling you what's what. A bit reminiscent of the movie Arrival, according to the developer. The main story is pretty arcadey and will take like 4 hours to finish. And missions can be replayed to reach a higher score on them. You can also unlock different difficulty levels and play it through in higher difficulties. Missions kinda play like in GTA, which means we have to go to a marker to start a mission. Until we do that, we can roam freely and not worry about the aliens. After the timed exclusive deal with Sony ends, the game will launch on PC on Steam, according to Steam, exactly 1 month later on October 26, 2017. The crazy thing is, the game was developed by one man, Alfonso del Cerro of Pentadimensional Games from Spain, in a time span of more than 5 years, starting development in early 2012, going full-time in the beginning of 2014. So I do have a reason for making this video. I was gonna start a video blog anyway, but the first one was gonna be about something else. But you know...
I think John Lennon once said that life is what happens while you're busy making other plans.
It's that I am more and more shocked that almost nobody heard about this game. And no big outlet is talking about it. Yes, it is an independent game developed by one guy. Illustrators, the voice actor, and music artists aside. Just like the development itself. And for that reason probably has a very limited marketing budget. But as there is a timed exclusive deal with Sony, they really should promote it, put it on PlayStation Network as a coming soon game. At least they uploaded it to their PlayStation Europe YouTube account. Reporters aren't really helping either, since the interview with Real Virtual is the only one that you can find on YouTube from Gamescom about the game. About the missing excitement of players themselves. I can imagine that the experience with the disappointing No Man's Sky has left people salty and they might be a bit skeptical when hearing about an open universe. However, Alfonso told early on that his universe is going to be a realistic one, as opposed to No Man's Sky's fictional universe, meaning it will be dead and feel pretty cold. That sounds grim. but still more what I imagine space to be like, as opposed to No Man's Sky's very color-tinted solar systems, which are far too lively. Other people may not be too excited that the game is gonna be over after like 4 hours. With a game that costs $60, I would understand that. But since it's an independent game with set estimated playthrough time, it will more likely be something between 20 and 40 bucks. Also, quantity doesn't equal quality. Just look at other indie games like Journey, which you can play through in one sitting of like 2 to 3 hours. Still a great video game, praised by many. Besides, in an open world game like Megaton, to many, like me, the appeal is its openness, which will probably keep us busy way beyond the 4-hour mark. I can already imagine many evenings coming home, flying across oceans and through space and just like listening to my Spotify playlists in the background. By the way, I feel like I have to emphasize the appeal this game has in VR, since people who haven't tried it, or like any of the VR devices that are available, they might not know what it's like. Let me say this, I wasn't hyped for Eagle Flight when it was announced, but then I played World War Toons. In that game there's a map where you get catapulted across these chasms by stepping on these buttons, and when like stepping on those buttons and being catapulted, I felt like, whoa. That felt like jumping. Shit. Yeah, really. From that moment on, I was so hyped for Eagle Flight because like ever since my early childhood, I was always like dreaming of being able to fly and to actually feel what that's like in VR. That's awesome. So I had a lot of fun playing that in VR. And to think how insanely fast you can fly in Megaton, and also like you can finally get above the clouds and beyond. That's like an amazing outlook. Plus, if you feel like it, you can just destroy building after building. By the way, I'm not getting paid anything to promote this game. And I'm not ruling out that it might suck for some reason. Like maybe the controls are weird. Or maybe it's like not actual stereoscopical 3D like Battlezone or Eve Valkyrie. Those games are fun to play, but nonetheless they are not actually 3D. Many people who have this game probably even haven't noticed this because I haven't heard anybody complain about it. But I realized when you stop in these games, you see that your cockpit, it's actually like 3D, you see the depth, and then like there's everything outside of it which is like on a big screen. Everything is like the same distance. It's like a projection or something. When you stand still, you realize that, because when you move, like it feels 3D, but it's not. And I hope Megaton Rainfall doesn't have that, and it's gonna be actual 3D. But you're not in a cockpit, so I think they might have to make it actually 3D. Another thing that might be annoying is like the blinders that actually we saw that at Gamescom. There was this display in the background, like displaying the gameplay of the people playing with the VR headset, and like Eagle Flight, you have these blinders, you know, when you turn, they block your view, it's like black bars on the left and right. And like when you turn, they show up. That's probably, it could be a bit annoying. I mean, it doesn't bother me too much in Eagle Flight, but still, the good news is that you can choose freely if you want to turn freely, like in 360 degrees. Or if you want to like have the fixed rotating angles like other VR games have, like you press a button and then you suddenly are like that, and then like that, which is meant to like prevent motion sickness because you're not actually moving while the camera is moving. What would be interesting to me as well is there actually rain in Megaton Rainfall? And is it maybe dynamic as opposed to Eagle Flight where it just like falls down even when you're like flying fast and it should actually come at you? Although the name Megaton Rainfall probably more like refers to the aliens raining down on Earth. So that's about all I can talk about for now. I really hope to be able to tell you about my hands-on experience after September 26th, because to be honest, I really still doubt that it's coming out so soon, because like all this silence that was there before, and like, okay, suddenly it's coming out. I'm still baffled, and I can't really believe it, but I want to. So I hope I have been able to summarize all like the facts that are out there and like got you a little bit interested in the game. Like I said, I'm not a spokesperson for the game, I don't get paid for like talking about it, but I'm just hyped. Maybe like wrongly, but I don't think so, I hope not. So maybe give me a like. Dislikes, I guess, don't have to be encouraged, they're gonna come in anyway. And if you feel like it, maybe subscribe. More entertainment media videos are coming, maybe with a focus on VR, and movies. I guess my plan to be first video is coming out in the future and is gonna function as some sort of a prequel. And it's gonna be about Ghost in the Shell. For now, though, stay tuned for more Megaton Rainfall. See ya!